Welcome to Kiss the Reviews. I'm Armando. That's Corey. And today we're doing 2010's Just Right. Before we get started, if you want to follow me or Corey on the Twitters, you could follow me at Junior D's. You could follow Corey at Corey_idol. If you want to follow the show, you could follow the show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Kiss the Reviews. Let's get into the cast of 2010's Just Right. This film stars Queen Latifah as Leslie Wright, Common as Scott McKnight, Paula Patton as Morgan Alexander, James Pickens Jr. as Lloyd Wright, Phylicia Rashad as Ella McKnight, and Pam Grier as Janice Wright.
This cast is phenomenal.
It's a great cast.
And I'll tell you, every time I like everybody in the movie, but every time I see Pam Grier pop up in a movie I didn't know Pam Grier was going to be in, I get very happy. And not in like my bathing suit area, like rises or sets. It's just like, I love Pam Grier. She's fucking awesome.
I do like Pam Grier a lot. You know who I really like? I like James Pickens. Like, I just think he's a good actor.
Mm-hmm. And he always seems to play a nice guy.
Yeah, I'm the man.
There's certain actors or actresses, like if you just play the dick or just this asshole, people just kind of equate all of those characters to who you really are, because there's got to be something there that makes you really good at that. You know what I mean? Like with this, if I saw him out in the street, I'd be like, you want to go like get a bagel? I wouldn't even ask him for a beer. I'd be like, you want to go get a bagel and like talk? Like, he just seems like the nicest dude ever.
Oh, 100%. Dude, if you don't believe that actually happens to people, just look at the comments on this show.
Yes, absolutely.
Because Armando is very approachable. I am very not in real life. And for some reason, the Uncle Corey persona makes all of you want to talk to me. Which, it's great. It's great. I love it.
I think you classifying me as I know you do. I think you classifying me as approachable is one of the best jokes you've told on this show.
Well, of the two of us, in all honesty, in real life, who's more approachable? Yeah, no, me or you?
You're 100% right. You're 100%.
If I answer the door, Jehovah's Witness is going, "We're good. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye."
No, you are the dad of the show, and I am the fun drunk uncle.
100%. I couldn't agree with that statement anymore.
That's just who we are. And James Pickens is the nice guy that wouldn't have anything to do with us in real life.
Yes, exactly. And I would ask him for a bagel, and he would call the cops and have me arrested.
Is it possible this story is true? Yes, it is.
So let's dive into this movie. I know we talked a little bit about it before we recorded. And I mean, this is just another movie in a string of other movies with the same sort of plot line. And one person is dating this person, but their friend or their brother or sister or whatever is the real one that they should be with, and yada, yada. And the back and forth and hijinks ensues and everything's cool. The fact that Queen Latifah and Common and Phylicia Rashad and all these other supporting cast members are in this movie makes the plot bearable. For me.
Yes. There are some features that switch it up, that made it a little bit more interesting. But my biggest problem with these types of movies, and maybe I'm just incredibly immature, but in all of these movies, they never bring up the fact that their close friend, their cousin, their god sister, whoever the fuck it is that they are close to and dating the other person that then gets with them, we're fucking.
Yes, it's never addressed.
You and I are not related in any way, shape, or form. But any V you've been in, my P will not be in. That's just the way it's going to be.
Yeah. I I found myself thinking about that while I was watching this movie. I'm like, is nobody going to address the fact that they were banging? And like now you're banging, and I don't know where his dirty dick's been. And like, there's just a whole lot of stuff going on in here that I'm like, nobody seems to be addressing, and we should totally address it.
Yeah. And to finally sum this up, and I think this is just the end of the review because we've talked about the movie enough.
Yes.
What the fuck is with Common's taste in women? Like, I have a taste in women and a woman. There is a type of woman I am attracted to. Other women are fine, but I am really attracted to this. Yeah. This motherfucker is all over the map with his type.
Yeah.
Like, he's not like, I'm dating around, so I'm dating different types of ladies. No. He's trying to marry these bitches.
Yeah.
And they just personality, everything about them is different.
Yeah.
How are you attracted to that? There's no way.
No, he's all over the board. He's like super ADHD with like his choice in women.
Right? That's like being super attracted to like Jordana Brewster because she's so skinny. Yeah. And then being like, you know what? At the end of the day, I kind of also want to marry Roseanne. What up?
Let's face facts. Nobody wants to marry Roseanne.
You were right.
Oh, so let's dive into this one. So this movie opens up as we see Leslie Wright, who is this no-nonsense physical therapist, and she's going off to work. She has this house that she bought that her dad's helping her fix up.
I literally feel like I'm listening to a chat GPT writing the fucking plot line to a movie. Because that's how generic it sounds. Like,
yes.
You are so right. No nonsense. I'm in my professional career in my house, and I'm happy just being me, but I'm unlucky in love. Wah, wah, wah.
Yep. And everybody, like, so she has this date, right? And like every single person, like her parents at the very beginning, the people that she works with. So you got that date, right?
Hey girl, what time is the blind date? 8. What you going with?
Everybody knows that Queen Latifah isn't getting dick. Everybody, from her parents to her friends to co-workers to patients that she deals with. They're like, so I heard you're going to get that dick tonight. Everybody knows about her fucking business.
It's ridiculous. I'm surprised her really fucking dad didn't buy her like a thong. Like, try this tonight, baby girl. It'll work.
We cut to the date, and the date goes really well, and he's feeding her tiramisu, and afterwards, Leslie hears what apparently she's been hearing for what seems like a while now, that I'm not ready for a relationship, but you're really cool, and we could be friends and go to like basketball games together and shit. First bit of advice. If you haven't tried tiramisu, these motherfuckers ain't wrong in this scene. Tiramisu is goddamn delicious. And if you haven't tried it, you gotta have it. And you can get addicted to it, just FYI. But second, I just got a quick don't do that.
Don't do that, it's not good for you.
Hi, everybody, guys, gals, whoever's in the, dating pool. You're out, you're going on dates. Don't end the date like this dude ends the date with Queen Latifah. Like, listen, if you're not into her, you're not into him, whatever, just be like, yeah, I'm just not that into you. I like you, I just don't think, and this ain't gonna work. He does this, he leads her on throughout this whole fucking meal. And like, oh man, I could do this till tomorrow morning. You know what I mean? I'm gonna make you eggs and shit because you're gonna be naked as fuck. And then they get out and he was like, all right, cool dinner, peace out. Like, don't do any of that. If you need and you have a special, like Corey said, you have a certain type of woman or a certain type of dude, and they don't meet the physical requirements right off the bat, then just act like you're out with a fucking buddy. And then end the date and go your separate ways. Don't do what this fucking guy did. Like, that's bullshit.
Yeah. And for those of you keeping score at home, the one that you can go to a basketball game with and go get some fucking nachos and party with and do whatever the fuck. That's the keeper. That's marriage material.
Yes.
These little fucking bitches that are in their phone like, hey, want to go to the bar to watch ball foots? Yeah, yeah. That's who you fucking hit and quit.
Yes.
That ain't worth your fucking time. Get the fuck out of here.
We also see Morgan here. This is Leslie's god sister. And they live together in Leslie's house. And when Leslie gets home, Morgan and her get into this conversation. And Morgan is looking to be an NBA player's trophy wife. And she does more research on NBA players and their wives than the My Pillow guy did in the election fraud. Everything's strewn about on the floor, and she's got printouts and fucking stats and all kinds of crazy shit all over the place.
I gotta start thinking about my future, like now.
Can we just say she crazy?
Oh, yeah. And probably the most believable character in this movie.
Yes, absolutely. I'll agree with
100% across the board. She's the one about. Queen Latifah's character is too good to be true.
Yeah.
That's hard to find. That's like a fucking diamond in the rough. You ain't finding that shit every day.
Yeah.
Paula Patton. I'll say this about Paula Patton. Because everybody always talks about her looks, but I've never heard anybody say this. So I'll be the first to say it. She's a pretty good actress.
Oh, she played this role really well.
Yeah, she played this role fantastic.
One night, Morgan and Leslie go to watch the Nets play. Scott McKnight is one of the star players for the Nets. He has a game for the ages. They meet some girls after the game who invite Morgan to a party at a hotel after said game. Leslie isn't invited just off the rip because, she's got a basketball jersey on and you're gross because of that. So they don't invite her.
How dare you wear a basketball jersey to a basketball game?
Yeah. You're
unless it's All-Star Weekend, wear your fucking jerseys. All-Star Weekend's when you show out and everybody fucking knows that. Otherwise, show up in your goddamn jersey.
So Leslie leaves there, and while she's getting gas on her way home, she sees Scott McKnight, who's also stopping for gas. He can't find the gas tank on his car, so she helps him with that. They get to talking, and he invites her to his birthday party the next Saturday. The next day, she tells Morgan about the encounter and invites her to the party. And this is mistake one by Queen Latifah. Listen, I know family's family, okay? If anybody gets that, it's me. But family be a family, you know who this bitch is. You are not inviting her if it's your god's son. It's my God. I'm not inviting that dude out. I know what you're all about, and you're going to fuck up my game. Let me just go out and do my thing. Like, you got no other friends. You got to invite your god sister.
Yeah, I don't understand this either. Like, especially the second mistake she made here is clearly not having a conversation with this bitch. Like, look, he invited me. We had a little thing happening. So when we get to this thing, go nuts.
Yes.
But that bald motherfucker with the goatee and the light eyes, he's mine.
Yes.
Fuck you.
Absolutely. 100%. Because they get to the party and they're only there for 5 minutes because while they're at the party, Morgan sees Leslie talking to Scott McKnight. And then she comes up, blows up her spot with some charity work bullshit story, and they leave right away. And they leave McKnight wanting more. And the next day, Scott McKnight shows up at Leslie's house looking for Morgan because apparently he's the My Pillow guy too. And he's got his stalking crew like diving in to see where this chick lives and yada yada. And
Rudy Giuliani showed up like outside her window with fucking hair dye just running down his face. Looking like the goddamn Hamburglar.
You're right again.
Morgan here plays the whole thing cool. He invites her to have dinner with him. And then it's montage time. And we see Morgan and Scott going to dinner, starting to date. Morgan gets the life she's always wanted, where she's shopping and doing all this shit. And then we cut to Morgan all moved in like 3 months later with Scott McKnight.
This is one of those scenarios, again, where you talk about believability. Common in real life is an incredibly intelligent human being. Like, way higher on the IQ scale than probably me and you combined. And in this movie, he's a fucking moron.
Yes.
They portray him as everything like almost fucking angelic.
Yep.
Right? Good looking dude, fucking athletic because he's playing in the goddamn NBA. Got the money. He's one of the best in his career. He's a gentleman. They bring that up all the time, how gentlemanly he is and how kind he is. And he's good to his mother and he and his blah, blah, blah. All this shit is talked about him. Paula Patton is just like, I go to charities. Which one? The one for kids. And he's just like, the one for charity sounds pretty good to me. I like charities too. You want to see my wiener? Like, this is the dumbest shit ever. How do you fucking not know this chick is running game on you?
Common acts in this movie like you and I would act if she was hitting on us. Like,
totally. He's like, you want a pinky? I'll give you a pinky. I'll chop it off right now. I don't care.
Hell yes.
So during this whole thing, and she moves in right the fuck away, which also very believable.
She steamrolls this fucking relationship.
Absolutely.
See, and this is what is so treacherous. Matter of fact, I'll just do this.
Corey's life lessons.
Hi guys, Uncle Corey here. The most dangerous thing about gold diggers is they are oblivious to the fact that anybody else knows, and they don't care.
Yeah.
Like Phylicia Rashad's character in this knows the whole time the game she's running on her son and why she's invested in this relationship.
Oh, yeah.
And she doesn't say anything because that's what cool moms do. You're a grown-ass man, you're going to make your decisions. But at the same time, I know what this bitch is doing. And Paula Patton's like, yeah, mom's going to be here, but she's a real pill. What are you fucking talking about, dude? Like, she knows what you're doing.
Yeah.
Why do you think you can pull this off? You can't.
It's so funny because she also, in this movie, is trying to pitch to Queen Latifah while they're in the house. Like, oh, no. I know this is what I was doing, but this is real, and I love him, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you kind of tilt your head like, who are you trying to fucking kid? You've been running fucking scams since we were little. This is just another fucking scam. And like, oh, no, this time it's real. No, this time it's real.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
The only person who's buying it is Common in this movie because later in this scene, he proposes to Morgan. She says yes, and now they're going to get married.
Dude, could you imagine if I just thought of a fucking scenario here. Could you imagine if I actually came to you and was like, hey, bro, I met a lady and we're getting married, but don't worry, she's different. You'd be like, get the fuck out of here. I've known you for 87 years. There's no fucking way that's happening.
Yes. And soon thereafter, McKnight goes down with a knee injury during the NBA All-Star game. And at the hospital, they're given the news that he tore his PCL. He needs to get it repaired, start rehab, which he does with his super hot physical therapist. And Morgan immediately gets jealous, goes straight to work on getting Hottie McStretchpants fired and Leslie hired as McKnight's full-time physical therapist. What could go wrong with this idea?
Corey's life lessons.
Hi, gold diggers. Uncle Corey here. The problem with being a gold digger is you have this little thing in the back of your head you can't get rid of called a conscience. And what it's doing is constantly telling you that everybody else out there is running the same game you are because you feel like a shitty fucking human being because that's what you are.
Yes.
So you are trying to assume that everybody out there that looks a certain way is the same kind of shitty person you are, so you can fucking lay your shitty ass head down at night on your shitty MyPillow and go to fucking shitty sleep.
Hell yes.
Leslie then gets right to work and shows that she knows her shit. She's no nonsense about his rehab. And then rumors start to spread about Scott not getting re-signed by the Nets. And he wakes up one morning to a Dear John letter from Morgan, who leaves him because now he's injured and the Nets aren't going to re-sign him. Just an FYI. If he can even play a little bit, like if she actually did her research, okay? This is why I say she does research like My Pillow guy. Enough research to be dangerous, but not enough to be believable. Because if she did any research, she would figure out like, well, yeah, he'll sign with another team. He's still going to make money. He'll still play. Even if he's mediocre, he could still live off of his name for a little bit at least. But we've seen a million people fucking do this. And let's say he can't play another fucking minute of basketball, period. From what it looks like, he's made enough money to where like, okay, now you could be the NBA wife. Okay, let's get down to brass tacks. How much we got? Where are we going to invest? Blah, blah. You don't have to leave because like, oh, he's not an NBA player anymore. He's still rich. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Nope. Dear John, I'm fucking out.
And this is the most telling thing to me, too, because after Queen finds out through Phylicia Rashad that this has all went down and Queen's about to get fired, she goes and confronts Paula Patton. And Patton says here,
Because I want to be somebody. And it ain't gonna happen being the wife of some has-been player with some bullshit contract living in some podunk city.
bitch, you ain't nobody if you're fucking tying your self-worth to another fucking human being.
Yes.
Be your own person. Being a shopper is not a person. That's not a thing. All you do in this movie is shop and allegedly fuck. That's it. That's not a thing to be.
Yes.
Figure out what the fuck you can do with your life. How are you going to be somebody by just being somebody's sex toy that goes to fucking Macy's every Wednesday? Get the fuck out of here.
She wants to get her fragrance rolling or whatever. The hell.
Yeah, she's full of shit. And here's another thing. Paula Pattons of the world, if you look like Paula Patton, just say you made a fragrance. They're going to buy it.
Yeah, exactly. McKnight then here sulks for a while. Leslie lets him until she bursts into his room one morning, wakes him up with a bucket of ice, and starts getting him back to work. And afterwards, Leslie takes him to a local park where he used to play and promises that she can get him back for the playoffs, at least by the end of the playoffs.
I thought this was a clever shift to their power dynamic because she was very much a deer in headlights. Like, I don't belong here. I'm a fan.
Yep.
And now I'm like helping rehab you. And now we're going through this. And then like Phylicia Rashad gets mad at him. He gets pissy and sulks and she doesn't know what to do. So when she starts throwing that bucket of ice, the whole thing shifts where she's a little bit more in charge and it works so much better.
Yep.
And this is where she really takes off in control of the movie.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And we also get more montages here too. Yes. So we get another montage time with Leslie guiding McKnight through his rehab. We also see them actually hanging out, talking some more. And Leslie gets sick during his rehab. McKnight feeds her some soup, helps her out. They fall asleep on the couch together. And the night before his return back to, it's the game 7 of the conference finals. And Leslie finds Scott in his private room playing piano. And they have the basketball is what you do, not who you are conversation. They almost kiss here, and then Leslie leaves the room.
Smart.
And the next night, Scott starts off playing tentative and terrible. Leslie then goes courtside, gives him a pep talk. Scott then goes back in the game, goes off, plays well, hits the game-winning shot to take the Nets to the NBA Finals. And Scott thanks Leslie after the game, asks her to dinner, and then after dinner, Scott shows Leslie that he fixed up her shitty Mustang and even left the little dimple in the door.
I like that. That was a dope touch.
This was a good touch. Something we haven't talked about yet, but she drives this piece of shit Mustang, and the whole time she's driving this, I'm like, dude, that's like a classic Mustang. Like, if you actually fix that up, that'd be a dope ass ride. Like, I'd dig that. And then he does the whole fucking suicide doors, so it can still close. Well, it's got the little dent in it. Yeah, this car was fucking dope as hell after he got it fucking fixed. Apparently he went to exhibit and got his fucking ride pimped. So,
where everybody goes, baby.
Yeah,
where everybody goes.
The fish tank in the fucking trunk. It's awesome. So Scott then here goes in for the kiss, and they go straight to sexy times with the candles burning. And so the next morning, Morgan shows up at Scott's place. Leslie answers the door, and Scott walks in. Morgan gives him some sob story about her parents and apologizes for leaving. And Scott tells Morgan to leave and then goes upstairs to find Leslie packing up and leaving herself.
Just confront the motherfucker straight up.
Exactly.
Like, hey, I'm not fucking stupid. Like, I just sat here and had a conversation with this bitch. I know what her intentions are. Yeah. I didn't rat you out about us, and I won't. But what the fuck, sir? Yeah. You need to make a decision, like, now.
100%. And by the way...
And damn all this, like, she was the woman I was about to marry, and I'm confused. Fuck that. She left you with a fucking Dear John letter the second you got injured.
Yes.
Corey's Life Lessons.
Hi, guys. Uncle Corey here. I don't care how good the nay is, you don't take them back when they leave you during a sickness or an injury. Are you out of your fucking mind? Whoever sticks with you at your low point is your ride or die. The one that flakes the fuck out on you, don't even give them a second fucking thought. If she wants to come back in and be like, oh, I don't know what to do. You know what you do? You fuck her once and then you kick her to the fucking curb so she knows how it feels.
You were right.
And by the way, for like Queen Latifah, again, I understand family's family, but this chick has blown up your spot at the party. That's how she got this dude in the first place. Then she, you obviously know because she's shown you all of her QAnon research that she did online for, basketball players and their wives. And so the game she's running. And then she leaves him when he gets injured. And then you confront her about it. And she tells you exactly what you already knew. Family's family, but I know we say don't snitch. In this situation, you snitch all over that girl. All over her. I turn around and I'm like, listen, I knew what was going on the whole fucking time. Like, and by the way, when I went home, she basically told me like, fuck that injury, no knee having PCL bitch. Like, I just throw up on the dude here and be like, that's what's going on here. And if you can't see it, you're dumb. But she doesn't. She just packs up her shit and leaves.
And this is where I wouldn't snitch, but I would grab Paula Patton by the hair and start wholesale whooping her ass.
That too. You can go either way with it.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Like I've had enough of this bitch. I don't care if she wins or not. Like I've just had enough of this shit.
Yeah. So Scott and Morgan then here get back together. She immediately gets back to basics into her like NBA wifey groove. And Scott slowly realizes that. And he doesn't really want to be with her. So he basically tells her we're going to slow down. She kind of loses her shit. In the next few scenes, Leslie starts getting phone calls from NBA teams to become an athletic trainer with their organizations. And she turns down the Nets offer immediately and heavily considers the 76ers and moving to Philadelphia. So
this is where it drug out a little too long for me now. Like we're going at a good pace. I'm interested.
Yep.
The characters are cliched, but as you said earlier, they're still captivating and charismatic enough where I am absolutely watching the story. Yes. I'm finding it entertaining. I want to see where they're going with it. And then we hit this point and fuck, what are we doing? You lost me, dude. Yeah. You lost me. This stretching out. It's like she's the free agent now and she's got all these. Fucking great. Show it once and move the fuck on.
Yeah,
and
you can.
Can I just say this? When the fuck has an athletic trainer ever had an agent? Because she gets Common's agent as her agent to help her shop around to these.
Yeah.
You're an athletic trainer. It's a job.
Yeah, I don't know how the shit works. I don't know that they have agents. But she had like GMs calling her and offering her positions and like fucking owners and shit. And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not how that works either. But whatever. It is what it is. It's a movie, so I'll suspend disbelief. But you're right, it does drag out a little bit here to the point where she actually goes to Philadelphia to like interview and have them show her the facility. And then he's got to fly down to Philadelphia to catch up with her because he realizes he wants to be with her, yada, yada. She calls her agent or the Nets or whoever she calls and accepts the offer with the Nets. And then they kiss and the movie ends during the next season. Leslie's working for the Nets. Scott's got his new contract with the Nets. She and Scott are married and they walk off the court together and then we get credits here. And the shot of Leslie and Morgan in the stands. And again, everything's totally cool. Like even after he's doing like this interview with Stuart Scott and, you know, before he goes to Philadelphia and he's like, oh, I got to get out of here. Like, I really talk about cliched scenes. I hate those scenes. And athletes getting interviewed and he's like, oh, I got to take off the mic because I realize who I am and what I need to do. Blah, blah. Stop it. And don't disrespect fucking Stuart Scott like that. But, you know, he does this whole thing. And Morgan here all of a sudden has this, like, I don't know, attack of conscience where she's like, I totally get it. You should totally be with Leslie. Like, go be with Leslie. It's okay. And again, like we said at the beginning here, nobody's talking about how, like, you banged her and now you're like Eskimo sisters or whatever. Like, nobody's discussing this and they're cool. They're just hanging out in the stand. And she's like, yeah, we totally banged him. Like, we're the same.
Well, yeah, and even like Paula Patton being like, it's okay. Go. I understand. Who the fuck cares what your opinion is, gold digger? Get the fuck out of here. Nobody. Do you even have feelings, lizard person? Nobody cares.
Yes.
The fuck out of here, man.
I think your feelings don't matter because even if you were like, don't leave, at that point, he'd have been like, yeah, I don't care. Like, he's going anyway.
Fuck you. That would have been that.
Absolutely. No, I mean, obviously this is, you know, a rom-com. So there are some funny pieces to it. Queen Latifah, we've talked about her before. I think this is like our third or fourth movie we've done with her as one of the actors in it. She's really good. She's good at comedy. I mean, she brings it every single time. I was kind of surprised. Common did a really good job in this one too.
Can you be happy for me?
He just seems like he's a natural kind of entertainer, kind of a jack of all trades kind of guy. He can kind of do anything.
Yeah.
Just a creative brain that could do that shit. Artistic brain.
Yeah.
This is the one thing that I really hate. I can take the cliches. I can take all of the tropes and the bullshit and this just copy pasting a script. Fine. Whatever. We need to stop acting like Queen Latifah is this hideous fucking chud compared to everybody else.
I'll agree with that.
You know what I mean? We need to stop, like in movies like Circle of Friends with Minnie Driver. She's not ugly. What the fuck are we talking about? A woman with fucking, like, what? Because she has a couple extra pounds on her compared to Paula fucking Patton. We're like, I don't know. She seems kind of gross to me. No, dude. If Queen Latifah hit on you tomorrow, you die. You get on your fucking knees and thank God that such a beautiful woman hit on you. Get the fuck out of here. That's the part that drives me crazy in these movies. Because it's not like she's obese.
Yeah.
It's not like she's ugly. There's nothing wrong or unattractive about Queen Latifah.
They treat her like she's fucking Bigfoot. Like, how could you possibly Just because she's got a winning personality, now it's all good. Like, I'm right there with you. I'm totally right there with you.
Yeah, like if I'm feeding tiramisu to Queen Latifah and I'm like, yo, I could do this until the morning. And she's like, oh, you mean all night? I'm like, bitch, I'm talking about fucking. That's what the fuck I mean. Like, shit.
I'm talking about putting some tiramisu on his dick.
That's right. I'll put it all over you. I don't give a fuck.
No, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. That does get. I found myself questioning that throughout the movie, and it's not. This isn't the only movie they do it in. They've done it in plenty of movies that she's been in. But yeah, that was the only thing I didn't really like about it. Again, I found it it's fine. If it comes on again just randomly, I'd watch it. I thought it was funny. I thought everybody did a great job. Does it stand the test of time? Sure. I mean, it's a better version of this script than other versions I've seen.
I would rather watch this romantic comedy than the billions of white romantic comedies that have been made just like this.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Because, and I'll leave you with this. This is my last point. In the majority of black-made films with a majority black cast, you'll have white people in them. The white people aren't this, hey, man, I'm a dorky nerd. Let's do our taxes kind of stereotype. Yeah. Whereas in the white movies, it's always the, oh, shit, man, what's going down? Like, no, dude, that's not a normal fucking, fucking black guy who is the most stereotypical fucking black guy on the planet. Get the fuck out of here. That's why those movies suck, because you have all the cliches and then you're just throwing terrible stereotypes on top of them. Yeah. This one, at least, being just right, they didn't do that. There's tons of white people scattered throughout this movie, and they're all normal fucking people.
Yeah. No, that's what I liked about this too. No, you got fucking, if it's a white movie, all the black characters are walking through it like they're characters in a fucking GTA video game. Like that's
oh, totally. Yeah, like they got to be lifting weights in the front yard for some reason. They're like in suburban upper middle America lifting weights in their front yard in a wife beater and slippers.
Is it possible this story is true? Yes, it is.
All right. That's all I got. Do you have anything else?
No, sir.
All right. Well, for Corey, I'm Armando. This is Kiss the Reviews, and this was 2010's Just Right.